All right, welcome everybody to tonight's call. Thank you all for joining. And this call is for anyone obviously who wants to grow their business and get some training and things like that. And we've got a pretty good call tonight because one of the things that helps us grow our business and take shape for life is building our team. Right? How many here enjoy actually health coaching and actually have fun working with their clients?
Love it.
Corey, do you guys like it? Yeah. So it's a pretty fun job, and we get to do a lot of things because of it. Some of us make enough money where we could be our full-time job, and some of us are working towards that. But the cool thing is that it is a really fun job. And how many would agree that they get meaning and purpose out of doing it, helping others, right? Yeah, I mean, this is the type of work to me that we are actually assisting other people to help, right? We're working in their highest best interest, right? Their higher good to try to help them achieve things that they haven't been able to achieve themselves. That's the kind of work we get to do. And because of that, it's personally rewarding because when we help another, we feel so blessed by it that we get helped when we help other people, right? Would we agree? That's one of the foundations for spiritual health is to help others. So with that said, it's a very wonderful thing to try to bring on other people that might want to do it, that might think that this is just as much fun as what you like it, or maybe even they like it more than you, because I've seen people that just are so take shape for life and so much passion about what we do. Sometimes I think they even like it more than I do, and I love it, and I think that's really cool. And I believe that there's so many people out there. How many people would agree that if they really understand what Take Shape for Life is all about, and some of you might not really understand it, those of you here who are seasoned, okay, I got very bad echo. Sherry, I think it's I muted you. Those of you who have been here for a while, which would be MJ and Alan and Sherry Marks, and I know Pamela, wouldn't you agree that, like, what you know now about Take Shape for Life, that more people would really want it if they knew the truth of what we actually did and what we offered?
Oh, yeah.
That more people would, like, after they got through their concepts of what they think it is and all that stuff, that they would actually want to participate in something, right? But go ahead.
Are you recording this, Gary?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And that they would want to do this type of a business because of how much personal fulfillment that we get in what we do. And for a lot of people, the journey kind of goes like this, and I can't remember where let me see if my notepad's in here, but it was excuse me, this was a part of the talk I wasn't planning. That's the way things work. Anyway, oh, here it is. It's a part of it's called the continuum of change. And that just means that, like, as a coach goes through their journey in becoming a coach, they could start at being unskilled. They think it might be easy because they get it. And then they realize that it's not that easy, so they get scared, right? How many of you gotten scared doing Take Shape for Life? And because all of a sudden things start to grow. And now you kind of realize, oh, I don't know enough. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm messing things up. I'm saying the wrong things. I'm pissing people off. I'm bugging people. I'm annoying people. And that's called, MJ, I see you smiling. That's called being consciously unskilled, being aware that you're unskilled, okay? And this is a growth pattern that people go through. And so now they start to realize that they need a lot of help. And now it becomes like, now I got to learn. Now I got to go on the path to growing and learning, because this is where my current reality is. I've got to get better at being able to bring it up, Alan, like you were doing, in nice ways that create conversations, that give me a chance to expose people to something that I do without bugging them, without doing that. That's a skill, right? That's when you've actually moved in the continuum of change to the place called consciously skilled. And when you're consciously skilled, Wouldn't you agree that you feel like you're starting to get this? So MJ and Alan, you're becoming consciously skilled, right? Where you're starting to be intentional, you're showing the pictures, you're doing your things to create a conversation around something out of nowhere but you having to do it, right?
Yes.
Right.
And you're starting to be what's called consciously skilled, where you're becoming comfortable doing it because you've done it enough, you know how to do it, you've pissed enough people off, if that's how you want to, call it. MJ, I'm sure you would agree that persistence pisses people off sometimes, right?
Right.
Right. And but we have the beautiful off the hook script now, right? Which tells people when you feel like you've bugged them, hey, that was never my intention. I won't bring it up anymore. Your friendship's more important to me. If you're interested, you let me know, right? It's telling them that. That way you don't ruin a relationship. Yeah.
One of the things that I want to stress, though, is, you go through that point where you're, I went through in different phases. The first one was I didn't even realize I was doing a bad job.
Right.
And then you realize, oh my gosh, I've screwed this up. And when you hit that 3 or 4 times, then you really think that you're just a big mess. And then you feel like you're bugging people too much. But I remembered something that Whitney had said some time ago, where she said, until someone says, I really don't want to talk to you anymore, don't stop. But be careful about bugging too often. Start spreading it out, maybe once or twice a month. And just then you feel like, okay, I'm intentionally doing this once or twice a month, not every week, not twice a week, because you can have someone who is super busy or something happens in their life. You think maybe you're bugging them when you call them because they don't have time to talk to you. Yet out of the blue, 2.5 months later, they're like, I'm ready to do this. And you're like, oh my gosh, it wasn't me. So it is a balancing act, but trust yourself to know how much you already know, Pamela. Just do it, get out there, and the magic will work, because when you open yourself up to that training, you just be a sponge. That's all you need to do, is be a sponge and practice what other people do.
Yeah, and thank you. And when you're consciously unskilled, where you're worried about it, you feel like giving up, and you don't want to fail and you don't want to do it. And that's part of that's the growth process of being consciously unskilled. When you become skilled, it becomes a little bit easier to do. And it can be frustrating here too, because you still might not be getting the exact results you want, but you're practicing, you're learning. This is all about a process of learning how to communicate in more effective ways where we don't piss people off, right? This is a relationship business. This is about building community. Your team becomes your community. You guys are my community, right? And you have the ability to build your own community based on the people that you associate with. But it does take somebody, like you have to really want it, right? It doesn't happen unless you really want it and you're willing to go out and go for it, right? But it can happen for anybody as they grow. Anybody, right? If we've all seen every walk of life become super successful at Take Shape for Life and literally make more income than they've ever dreamed about, have more free time than they ever dreamed about, and help more people than they've ever dreamed about. Like, I've seen it time and time again. I've never seen anything like that before. So consciously skilled, you get encouraged, and then you become skilled. That's the final step. When you're skilled, you get to a point where you're bulletproof when it comes to what people might say. You know how to handle pretty much every objection. You get it from backwards and forwards. You understand the offering Take Shape for Life has. You feel confident in your offering, and you don't need that person because you know that the next person is around the corner, right? And you know that it's not for everybody. And the goal is to share it with enough people, and therefore you'll find out who's a fit. That's when you're skilled. That's when you get to the level of like national director and you start really learning how the whole leadership thing works. And the cool thing is even though you're the CEO of your own business, you don't have to be the only CEO, right? Where you run your business, but how many people here get mentorship and actually really appreciate what we get from our mentorship, right? I'm one of them too. And that's the cool thing is we're the CEO, but we have free business advisors, right? So the idea here is to realize two things. That one, this is just a continuum for all of us to learn and grow and to keep plugging at it because we know what is happening for us. and two, to realize that the work that we actually do is really cool, really powerful. Was somebody trying to speak? Go ahead. Really powerful in personal fulfillment and meaning in life. I mean, we're all really having a good time. Not everybody's having as good a time as we are when you help somebody get healthy. Would you guys agree with that? Okay, awesome. So with that said, we're going to talk tonight about
from calendar.
what is that?
Sorry, that was my computer talking to me.
Okay. We're going to talk tonight about file folder 4 is health coach candidates and what to look for. It's called identifying and qualifying a coach. And I am going to share my screen with you guys real quick. Okay, so we're going to pull up this. You guys can all see my screen okay?
No, that's on here.
Can anybody not see my screen? Probably a little blurry there. Okay. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yes? Everybody see? I can't see everybody, so just because when I screen my share, I can't see the group in the picture. So if you could, okay. Can you guys read it? Is it?
Yes.
You need it bigger? Bigger, yes or no? Nod. Yes, bigger. Okay. Okay, here we go. That's good? So basically, file folder 4 is identifying somebody who might be looking for something, right? To identify somebody who might be looking to explore whether, you know, assisting someone to health and coaching is something that they would want to do, right? Does that sound fun for them? Do they have their own goals and aspirations of achieving more in life? Like, it's for the entrepreneur, you can appeal to the meaning and purpose, the entrepreneurship, you know, how much income that we can go. It doesn't matter how they come in and take shape for life, because they all work together, whether they're looking for a new career. So just one way to do this is to say to somebody, whether you know them or not, you know, you could do this on a blind, you know, walking up to somebody and getting into a conversation, and it would sound something like this. I'm not sure if this is a fit for you or not, but this is what I do, and I'm looking for people. I'm a health coach, and I help assist people to health, and I'm looking for people who are interested in health and fitness. Is that something that you're interested in? You see, does that sound scary to say that, to walk up and say, I don't know if this is a fit for you? Does that sound scary, yes or no? Nod, because you guys are all on mute. Yes? Shelly, does that sound scary? Corey, does that sound scary to you? No? Good. So the idea here is that it exposes you to asking more people if it's a fit, right? So in order to recruit people who might be interested to see if it's a fit, we have to ask questions, right? We have to ask questions, and sometimes that might mean showing your before and after. Hold on one second. Justin, do something different. So Joey's like, I get it.
I still get it. Mine's on his gameplay over here.
I know. And I see Corey and Michelle have their kids in their hands, so everyone gets it on this phone, which is great. So anyway, so it's about, you know, exposing yourself. Even if you show that card and say, hey, can I show you something cool? I lost this much weight, and this is what I do now, and I don't know if it's a fit for you, but people love doing this, and I don't know if it's something you'd ever be interested in exploring. So there's ways to get into conversation, but you got to go out of your way and do it. So identifying, and then we'll talk more about this tonight is not about fully about what to say to them. We'll have to, when you decide you want to do this, let's go one-on-one to talk about what to say. This is more about identifying and then qualifying. Do they have the attributes and qualities to be a partner? Okay, so what that looks like is, and we're going to open up another document here that's called the Health Coach Candidate Form. You guys can see this. Say yes, please, because I can't tell. Okay, great. So this is in file folder 4, and this is about sponsoring coaches, and you identify someone's why. Like, why would they want to do this? Do they want more income? Maybe a retirement? Maybe do they want security for later, something as a plan B? Do they want full freedom in their life? And what purpose? And obviously, you want to find out what appeals to them about a new career, right? Because that's how you know how to talk to them. Qualifying them. So what you use this form is, it says on a scale of 1 to 4, 1 being the highest, rate your candidates in the following 7 areas. So a lot of these candidates come from clients, right? Like Corey and Michelle, you guys came because you were clients first, right? I came because I was a client first. Shelly came because she was a client first. Everybody on this call came because they were a client first. So what we, hold on, please turn that down. Justin, please turn that down. So what we look for in qualifying is, are they true to program? Now, you don't have to be a stickler on that. Sometimes people need a little bit of help, but that's a good quality if they're true to program. Are they ambitious people? Do they want more out of life? Because if somebody doesn't really want more, do you think they're going to be a really good coach? You know, that doesn't mean that you don't bring them on, because maybe they want $500 a month. Maybe they want to help 5 people. That's okay. So they don't have to want to build a huge business to become a coach. We're happy with people that just want a small business. Is fine. But if your goal is to build a large Take Shape for Life business where you develop structure, where you start actually seeing where your income is replacing other incomes and you get to be in the high income bracket, then for ambitious people, it is in your best interest, because it's ambitious people who really go out and create, right? They make it happen because they want it. So even if you're not overly that, your goal is to look for that, right? To find people that are. Maybe that's not you, but maybe you're good at finding people that are, and you're able to bring them in. Now, people that are accountable, they're coachable and teachable, people that have an attractive personality, like they're likable, they're not argumentative, they're outgoing, they're willing to do Facebook, they're willing to put posts, they're willing to actually put themselves out there, and they're motivated, they're successful in other areas of their life, and they refer people to you. So you put a 1 or a 4 next to each one of these, and you add up the points at the end. Now, if their number is close to like a 1 to 2, then you got a really strong candidate, right? If they're a 3 or 4, you could look at where they're a 3 or 4 and decide if you think they'd be good. I can't tell you how many health coaches that I brought on that do absolutely nothing, right, in this business. And there's a lot of them. And the reason why is because they jumped on the idea of becoming a coach, but they might not have had some of these qualities, or they just never got fully involved, right? They never kept going. So qualifying is to look for people who are ambitious and motivated, that want more out of life. And you just got to get really good at sorting through those people and finding them. Now, approaching them, if you see here, it says Remember the Business Blueprint, Section 12, page 10. Okay? So it's also in Training Guide 2. So approaching them is ways like we just discussed, which is, I don't know if this is for you, but this is what I do. That is a great way to take the edge off right away. You're not trying to sell them because you're already giving them an out up front. I'm not sure if this is something you're interested in, but this is what I do. I wanted to share this with you. That make sense for people? that's kind of an easy approach to kind of talk to someone. It's so powerful that I can't tell you how simplistic it is to get into a conversation with that approach. Okay. Now, this document talks about how to present to people and where to present to people. So it gives you 5 options, whether you do it in person and you meet them, whether you invite them to a webinar, have them watch a webinar over the phone, a group presentation, or a 3-way call with your business coach. I'm always a big fan of the 3-way call for the first introduction, and then we figure out what to send them. So much different things to send them, and you don't want to overwhelm them, right? Bits and pieces that we send them. And then following up. This is where we're going to bring in now I'm going to unscreen share this. You guys have all this in file folder form. I'm going to stop share for a second and bring you guys up. And now we're going to bring in MJ and Alan to talk about that piece, because what they said earlier tonight was that the biggest thing they're doing is what, Alan?
Well, the biggest thing we're doing is being intentional about sharing with other people, no matter where we go or what we're doing.
Right. And what was the other piece after that? Follow up.
And a follow-up.
Follow up.
Absolutely.
How important is follow up in this whole thing?
It's everything. If you don't follow up within about 24 to 48 hours, you're going to probably lose the person's interest, and they won't follow through with you. So it's very, very important, because when you follow up almost immediately, when you can, send them an email or a text or a phone call, it makes them feel important, and that true to your word, that you're going to do what you're going to do. Because if you tell somebody you're going to follow up and you wait a week, where's the credibility there?
Yep. And I've been guilty of doing that. And
we all have.
Many people because of that.
Gary, we have to run, so we're just going to get on the phone here, okay? But we can still continue to talk to you.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you in a minute then. Okay. So as you can see, follow-up becomes the most critical thing that we can do, right? When it comes to because once you present to somebody, or they give you the name and number, then follow up right away. Or when you present, you can ask them, can I follow up with you? We don't want to bug. So the key is, and then we can use the off the hook if you feel like you're bugging them. And Shelly, I think you used it once. And didn't that turn in, what happens when you use the off the hook script? And what that is you call somebody, if you've been following up for a while and you feel like you're bugging them, you call them and you say, hey, look, your friendship is more important to me than anything else. And I don't want to feel like I'm bugging you. I was just following up with you based on your interest. And, so I won't bring this up anymore when I see you. That way, I don't want you to run from me and think I'm, so I don't want to bring this up. So if you're interested, you could let me know. It goes something like that. There's a script, and it really shows people's intention once you do that, where they really are. And Shelly, can you share when you did that once, didn't that turn somebody into a client right away? Because
shortly thereafter. Yeah, because she wasn't ready, and it wasn't the right time yet, but she had been telling me she was ready. And I think part of her brain wanted to be ready, but she just wasn't ready and just dragging her feet. So I'm happy to start people when they're really ready, because if they're not ready, they're not going to do well. So, but it was a great conversation, and I thought she was just getting irritated because she wasn't returning my texts or my phone calls, and she was very interested. So I did that script with her. I mean, my version of it, but pretty much the same thing. And she's like, oh, no, you're not bothering me. I just, I need to wait until January to actually pull the trigger with getting signed up. I can't do it, at the end of December, like we had talked about. So, and then she did finally sign up. But she had said in November that she was going to definitely sign up. So it was November and all of December and all that stuff. And I was trying to make some goals, and she had said she'd sign up. So, that script came in handy.
And you followed up with her, and she just started ignoring you though, right?
Yeah. I don't know if she was just really busy or what, but I think she just didn't want to, she wasn't quite ready, and it was Christmas time and everything. And so, yeah, probably just didn't want to have that awkward conversation with me.
Right.
So,
and you didn't know, but you don't know what's going on, right?
No.
But
right.
you start to feel like they're ignoring you and that you're bugging them.
Right.
Because they're not responding, right? You're thinking
right. Yeah.
So we've all felt that, and the reality is we don't know what's going on. So doing the off the hook is a nice way to.
Yeah. And I ended up doing it again this last week with another person, someone that I see as my kid's swim coach. And every time I see her, she's like, oh, maybe I should. But then she never really ended up been emailing her and texting her and stuff. I finally just called her last week and to talk to her about the program. And that's what I ended up using. I go, no, you're saying a lot, but I don't want you to feel like you have to talk to me about it every time we see each other. Cause this weird interaction every time we see each other, it's like, hasn't been fully discussed. And then we had an honest conversation about it, and which was good. So
See, that's what that script does. That's why this is like when this was created, I felt like it was a license to follow up, right? Because that's our job, is to follow up with people, because people want to get healthy, but they're scared. They don't know what to do. They're skeptical. They're doing all these other things. Their lives are crazy and they don't think about it. And we're coaches though, so we're a lifeline to people. People want what we have. But we follow up with them, we start feel like we're bugging them because we feel like we're trying to sell them something. But if you view it as you're helping somebody get healthy, I mean, Corey, would you agree that your health now is better than it's been in a long time? And like what Vicky did to reach out to you guys has transformed you?
Yeah, I never thought it was even a possibility to get to where I am today. It's just unreal.
Never thought it was even a possibility, right? Like it was like, and you probably wanted it, but just didn't know what to do.
Yeah, at 310 pounds, you can't see the goal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That is awesome. And you're down over 100 pounds now, right? That is just like the most incredible thing. And now you guys are paying it forward and coaching some people and getting some success with your clients.
Yeah. We've got 8 clients right now.
Awesome. And do you want a lot more?
It would be nice. I think we've kind of hit a wall with Facebook, and we just don't know where to go from here.
Okay, so we'll schedule some private time with Vicky to kind of go over the different strategies. And as a matter of fact, I'll send out my last Zoom, which was on finding clients everywhere. I didn't send that out yet. I apologize, but watch that.
Okay.
It's all about where to find clients. It was a pretty powerful call. I'll send that out. But you guys are doing fantastic, and you're down 100 pounds, and your life got transformed. So what we don't want people to think is that we're trying to sell somebody anything. That doesn't mean that you don't have to present and do the sales process and ask them if they're ready and try to close them, right? That's the sales model. But the reality is that people want to get healthy. They really want it. They don't even know it's possible. They can't see past that. So we have to reach out and help them, right? It's the same thing for becoming a coach. And having somebody become a coach is the most wonderful thing. And you remember, you don't just want anybody. You'll take anybody, I get, but you don't just want anybody. There's a phrase Dan Bell says that I can't remember completely. It's something about you want what you want, you take what you get till you get what you need. Something like that, right? Meaning that you welcome anybody to come on, but it doesn't mean like that one person's going to be your rock star. You have to really identify people who are organized, who want more out of life, right? When you look at the successful people, they're willing to go after it. And some people start really shy. And I'm bummed Malka's not on the line tonight, because Malka started really shy. And she was a senior coach manager for a long time. And then Sherry got us together, and we started helping her break through and have the right language so she didn't feel uncomfortable. And she's made it to integrated regional director, very close to national director. And it transformed her entire family, and their income. And so so we never want to, what we call, judge a book by its cover. Did anybody on the line listen to the leadership call this last week that Dan and Dom did? Was that not powerful, Shelley, with the tools and the things that they were talking about when they were talking about how to create an environment for success and grow your business? I highly recommend you guys listen to it. They just give such unbelievable tips. And one of them is, don't judge a book by its cover. And that necessarily means don't judge somebody and think that they're going to be great or not, because you don't know. You can try to identify with the best of your ability, but you never know who's going to take it and run with it and inspire people and just transform. So we just meet people where they are and we try to move them along. And we're all understanding how that process works. And then we roll up in our sleeves and we go to work for them. You guys all know that if you find a coach, I'm willing to roll up my sleeve and go to work with you, right, to help support them. Sherry and I yesterday, for those of you who are going to be joining our training with health professionals, how to call in health professionals, Sherry and I met with an OBGYN yesterday who's so excited about referring patients to Sherry because she has so many, and who's considering joining as a coach, but she's so swamped right now she can't even think past that. But in the meantime, she's so eager to send Sherry patients, and me and Sherry met with her, and we just have a really nice presentation. So if you want to learn, so Michelle, if you're interested in learning how to do this part, since you're a nurse practitioner, I would love for you to join our trainings if you can. But so it's all about everybody helping everybody for everybody's success, right? So that's what's so cool. You never have to do this alone. Justin, can you please turn that down? Thank you. I wanted to highlight a few other things. Justin, please turn that down. More, please. And a few other things that they talked about. Down a little bit, please. Dr. Anderson's, sorry. Dr. Anderson's talking about this new book from Stephen Covey. Did you guys all get that email that he sent out? Anybody get that email? This new book on trust. And the reason that he recommended that for all of us to read is because 80% of the reasons somebody says yes, whether it's for you to be a coach or a client, is because of one thing. What do you guys think it is?
Trust.
It is trust. More importantly, what's that, Al?
Was that is it trust? I'm on the phone right now, so I couldn't.
Yeah. It's trust, but more importantly, it's trust in that they like you. Right? They like you and they trust you. So that's the reason people say yes to doing something with you. So to build a team, you have to make sure that you are coming with them with as much trust, right? And learning how to provide a relationship for them to trust you, to build trust. Then they will start to listen to more of what 80% of people say yes to people. When you guys agree that when you buy something, the majority, a lot of decisions are from somebody you like and you're willing to do business with them, right? It's literally just completely human nature. So we just have to realize that we are that person when it comes to bringing people into whether they're going to become a client or a coach, right? We are that representative. So to learn how to build trust in yourself. Okay, so Alan, I think we probably beat follow-up over the head a couple of times tonight, and you guys can watch this. So what I wanted to do is maybe open it up to some Q&A if any of you guys have any specific questions on the things that we've talked about tonight, or anything like that. Before you say, okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Shelley.
Oh, okay. Have you been successful with people that have not been clients that are interested in coaching?
I've been somewhat successful with them myself, and a lot of times it does turn out for them to maybe try the program for a week after they, you talk to them about really becoming a bit with knowing the program, and if they're going to be talking about it. So they don't have to.
Gary, it's really hard to hear what you're saying right now.
That's better, right? I think.
Yeah, much better.
MJ, I had to mute you. I'm sorry. It was your phone. So yes, I've been successful at talking to entrepreneurs, whether they're dietitians, nutritionists, personal trainers, people that are in the field. I'll go out and I'll call on and I'll talk to them about it. And they may not have done program. Some will become clients, some will not, and that's okay. So yeah, that can be successfully done. At least getting them into the conversation of the business. Yes. But it's not going to be easy to have somebody who like wants to do it because they want to make money, but they're really unhealthy themselves and they won't get healthy themselves. That becomes a little more difficult because it becomes out of integrity, right? Like we walk our walk, right? We're healthy and we try to live a healthy life as much as we can. It doesn't mean we're perfect. It's not about being perfect. It's about being healthy overall and being at a good weight and figuring out how we can get to our own healthy weight and then helping others achieve the same. So if they're not willing to do that, that's why I look for health conscious people when it comes to entrepreneurs.
And do you wait till people get pretty close to their goal before you really, I mean, kind of drip along the way about the opportunity, but like talk more seriously about them?
I do.
Or how do you do that?
A lot of times what I'll do is I'll share with them my story and how I became a coach, right? And that kind of opens it up to them realizing that they can too. And then I might say, I don't know if this is for you, but one day, you know, and I usually do that after the first. A lot of people say offer everything up front. I've heard leaders do that, and they're offering the entire package up front and what we offer. I'm not a huge fan of that myself. So I have done it before for the right person. So you have to gauge it. If they're like one of those outgoing, bubbly people that, you know, you can totally drop it. But I'm about helping people get results. But sometimes that's I always will tell my story on how I became a coach and how it became my career, because that opens up the reality that it could happen for them too. And then I always might throw out, I don't know if it's for you or not, but it's an offer for anybody who finds a passion in helping others. I'll say something like that. So I drop a subtle hint with them.
Okay.
And then I do drip on them. Then I encourage them, and if I think that they'd be good, if they are one or two on when I do my little health coach check sheet, and I see, yeah, they're good, they're outgoing, they're ambitious, they want more, and I can learn that through my coaching. Then I'll even pursue them a little more and encourage them to have a conversation with us and explore it. You know, and I can't tell you how many times people have said, no, this is not for me, and then what they realized over time that they just saw it from a different angle, and now they see it differently, and it becomes for them. Because remember, the way you present it is their only interpretation of what it really is, which is this much out of how big it really is, right? And that's the hard part about that. You know, you only get one chance to make a good first impression, so like it's important to learn how to do that over time, how to ask the right questions, and you know how to pull things out of people that you want to know, so you know where to go instead of just thinking this is where I should go. I can't tell you how many times I've messed up doing that. So it is about a constant drip, and the key is to find out if it's a fit. If they would enjoy helping others get healthy without trying to get into the minutia of, hey, health coaching with MetaFast, and would they actually enjoy that job? Would they love going after it? Would they love talking to people? Those people, you know, such as yourself, Shelly, I mean, you made executive director in 3 months, you know, and you made it because you were willing to go out and talk to people. Right?
Well, I'm really passionate about it. And that's actually gone backfired a few times with people I've been talking to. They're like, yeah, but you're really passionate about this. I'm not. I'm like, well, you don't have to be. You don't have to build a huge business. You can just help your 3 or 4 of your friends or your family.
And you know what? That's exactly what you should say. And you should say, I'm passionate about it because I see what this can do for people. And if you're not passionate about it, I get it. Would you want to help 3 or 4 people? And
Right.
if they know, then say, okay, then that's not going to backfire, Shelly. That's actually them telling you the truth. That
Right.
is saving you time from trying to pursue somebody that is you're going to have to drag up a hill.
Yeah, because I don't really have time to drag people up a hill.
Exactly, and I can't tell you how many times I've tried to drag people. I have 280 health coaches in my organization. I've done a lot of dragging of coaches who I think that they'd be great, but they don't want it themselves.
Right.
And so just because I think they would be great means absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know, and I'm sure MJ and Alan can agree to that. I'm going to keep them on mute though because they're I wish they could blink so they could say, yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, this is a common thing in Take Shape for Life that's, but the key is to go so wide. When you want to build a team, it's like you want to bring on, 5 to 10 to 20 health coaches. And out of that 20, 5 of them will be good, because not everybody wants it. 5 of them will maybe make it to executive director and really want to do it, right? It's about 1 out of 5 really want it bad enough. But the rest might help 2 or 3 people up to 10 people, and that's totally cool. We need them just as much as we need the other people. So we're willing to take on anybody willing to help, and you never know when it becomes someone's passion. They might find it easier than they thought. They might like it more than they thought they would. So you always want to just offer both out, and you could say, I tell people, look, one of my passions is to bring moms home, to bring families home. From not working 80 hours a week and staying away, to actually bringing them home to have more time with their family and be able to make the same amount of income or more, helping others get healthy. That's obviously what I have. I work from home. I get to see my son all the time, and I was able to leave a job to do it. So I'm in the shoes where I was able to walk away from corporate America to do it. So, you never know who it's going to be. So it's kind of like throwing the net wide, but at the same time being, like Alan said, intentional, And by the way, I wanted to bring this up. I don't think we had it on video. Alan showed his little card of MJ and her little story, right, her before and after. And he would go up to people and he would say, and Alan, I'm going to unmute you for this. Mute yourself good until you're ready to talk. Your background noise. But, Kelly, I think that it's absolutely acceptable for you to say to somebody, you want to see something cool? This is me. I think it's totally fine. I know you're scared as heck to do it. I get it. And I know that it's easier to do it on somebody else. But the reality is like for you, Corey, as well, and you, Michelle, is you want to highlight what you did. This is about your journey. So I encourage you to, this is me. I lost X amount of weight, and we're going to learn from Alan about, let's actually learn now. Alan, what do you guys say after that? Let's get this on recording. If you can unmute, what do you say after MJ's picture?
Normally what I do, Gary, is I just show them that I say, hey, can I show you something really cool? I hold up the rec card. We usually reach out and pick it up. I don't say anything. You wait for them to say something. If they don't say anything, they usually hand it back to me and they say, hey, have a nice day. I would say 99% of the people go, wow, that's not you, is it? And then they just smile. And, I just wait for them to say something. Then when they do, and like I said, most of the people say, I'd like to lose some weight like that. I could use a few pounds. I say, well, give me your information, contact information. I'd love to send you something. Thank you very much. They give it to me, and I say, have a nice day. I'll send you something this evening. And that's it.
That takes like a minute, right?
Yeah, and we did this, and I did this in Sears about 2 weeks ago, talking to the clerk behind that was taking the MJ's money. Some lady that was standing behind me said, hey, can I have one of those cards too? I want to lose some weight also. I wasn't even talking to her.
How awesome is that? So did you guys hear that? This is like making connections, right? This is like calling people and letting them know what you do. This is a way to do it in the public, out in front of people. Hey, you want to see something cool? And you show them it, and that's all you do, right? You wait for them to say, wow, and then say something. If they don't say anything, no harm, no foul. You just showed them something cool, and you're on your way. That sounds really good, Alan.
You have to be intentional. It's really easy. I did it again today when we were getting some paper from a shop that I needed a ream of paper. And I showed the guy, and I just gave him the card. Like, this is what we're doing, rack cards. And he looked at that and said, wow, I could do that. I need to lose about 20 pounds. I got his information, and I sent him stuff tonight.
That's fantastic. Can you send me that your card that you show people so I can send it out to the team, and if they want to duplicate that card, they can?
Absolutely, I can.
Thank you so much.
We actually sort of borrowed it, intentionally borrowed it from Whitney. It's the same card that Whitney shows people that has Greg's pictures on the front and then a BMI chart on the back. And so, we all share everything in this business.
Yes,
Where we got it.
Awesome. Yeah, Whitney is such a genius at this business. She's so good. So send that out, and I think that that sounds like one of the easiest and most effective ways to walk up to a cold market person anywhere you are. That sounds beautiful.
That's an easy thing to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for that. Did Corey and Michelle, does that sound like something that you could benefit from? Would that be something that you would do, or does that sound scary to you guys?
I've been telling everybody I can see. I'm kind of proud of this point.
So that would be something good for you, right? To have an actual hand visual, to hand somebody and say, you want to see something cool? And let them say, wow, and then follow up with them about sending them something. And we'll talk to you about what Alan sends and what to send them. And so you have a little system down of when I do this, this is what I do. Right? That sounds like a powerful tool for you. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think it'd work.
Perfect. So we'll make sure we do that. Pamela, did you have a question?
Well, I was just going to, and I can ask Alan this myself, but I was just going to ask about his follow-up email. Just how involved is that? Sometimes I think I give too much information to people. So I probably need to know.
If you are, then you are.
Pardon?
If you think you are, then you are.
Oh, okay.
Less is more. Less is more.
Yeah, Pam. The best thing that we do is we did the same thing. You just send them too much stuff, people read it, and that's it. I try to send the bare minimum. I send basically a thank you note, say thank you very much for talking to me. It was a pleasure. I would love to sit down and talk to you. May I give you a call later on this week? And if they respond, fine. If they don't, I call them in a couple of days.
I see. Okay. See, I'm giving information. And
so you want the appreciation one-on-one.
Got it. So you're basically setting up an appointment in a sense. And if they respond to that, then it's kind of like rolling the ball and they roll it back and you roll the ball.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect segue, Pamela. Great. Yes, you don't want to give them information. Not any. This is a conversation. You want to find out what they want so you can show them how we can give them that. You don't want to give them information about the program because it's Optimal Health is too big, right? This is not about telling people what we know. This is about finding out what people want and then helping them get it.
Okay.
Okay? You've got to come at it from that perspective. That's why we ask questions. That's why identifying people, and even when you're coming to coaches or clients, you got to ask questions what people might want. But that's for the follow-up piece. But the initial piece is, hey, look at this. You want to see something cool? And do it about yourself. Shelly, you got to get really good at that. And I know that's going to scare you, but that's going to stretch you to a place that your business will explode once you take ownership for yourself. That this is you now, and this is what happened to you. And it's okay to have your own story. And Michaela's as well. But when you have your own, it's great to use it, when you can, okay? That way they trust you that also went through it as well. So you can use both. It's good to have a variety of things. Any other questions, guys? Anything? Okay. So Corey and Michelle, will you guys do me a favor and set something up with Vicky to do some personal coaching? And Michelle, I'd love to do some coaching with you. If you want to just do it with me, great. If you want Vicky on the line, great. And we could set that up and reach out to me and let's try to help you break through whatever's going on.
Okay.
And Corey, let's make sure you're armed with everything you need to go out and talk to people. And Pamela, for you as well, you've been around this game a long time. You just got to go out and do, right?
That's right.
Yep. and Shelly, you as well. And Alan, thank you so much, and MJ, for your insights and what's going on. You guys are one of the fastest growing teams right now. Really excited about your growth. Your volume is through the roof. Your frontline volume is amazing. Teams are growing. Congratulate you on staying the course.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight's training call. Hope it was beneficial. And for any of you coaches out there that are watching this recording, if you want to know more, again, feel free to reach out to me directly and just say, you know what, I really want to do this. Let's go to work. So, thank you guys all for joining. Have a good night.